All right, Bill here, and I know that a lot of recipes call for Italian seasoning, and I'm not really sure what's in it. So I just wanted to share with you that when I put together dry seasonings or herbs, I do have a ratio, and sometimes to get things ready, kind of on the fly. I do have a little mixture. I did want to show you because I think Italian seasoning needs to be really simple. And if you ever go out to those restaurants that put the seasoning in the olive oil, you dip your bread in. Obviously, they use fresh herbs, and so that's why they're so good. You really can't reconstitute dried herbs. It's not going to taste the same. Like I said, there are recipes that I do use this in, and I have one coming up. So I just wanted to show you this, and then I'll just attach it to the recipe. So basically, I've got oregano, thyme, basil, and crushed red pepper. I always want something to give a little heat or a little more flavor intensity to my Italian seasoning. Basically, I'm going to mix it in a little bowl. If I have an empty spice jar, I can always put it in here and just change the label. I got a little Tupperware container, which is what I'm going to use today, just so I've got it ready for my next recipe. So this is really simple. Of course, the hardest part's opening up the jars, right? And I'm not sure why, but to me I think a teaspoon should be able to fit in here. So I want a healthy teaspoon of oregano, I want a good teaspoon thyme, then I want about a half a teaspoon of basil, and I'm just going to take half a teaspoon. So basically the ratio is, it's 2 to 1. You want 2 of the thyme and oregano, 1 of the basil, and the crushed red pepper flakes. And you can be pretty flexible with the crushed red pepper flakes, how you like it. Look at this. I have a nice little chopstick. I just want to mix it up real well. Mystery solved of how I make it. I'm just going to put it in my Tupperware container. And this will stay for a while. You could use this as just about anything. You could even use this as a rub or a seasoning when you're grilling. I don't want to inhale too hard, but it'll taste really good. Another thing to remember, if you're not using your herbs and spices, please keep an eye on them. Make sure they don't get old. The smart thing is, it doesn't matter what the date says on it. If they are dated, I've never looked. But I always, when I buy them, I take a Sharpie and I write what date I bought them. And I don't want them in my cupboard really more than like 6 months. I know they probably last longer, but they do lose all their fragrance fairly quickly. I want them to be as fresh and as pungent as possible. Bay leaves are a prime example. You'll find really, if you notice, if you ever buy bay leaves and you don't use them for a while, they go from that beautiful green, really fragrant, to kind of a brownish color, and when you open the jar you barely smell it. But that's all I wanted to show you for this time. Like I said, I'm going to attach this to recipe I have coming up. Have any questions? Go ahead, comment and ask me, and I'll try and answer them. Have a great day. Hey, my name is Bill, and today I wanted to show you a great recipe. When I was a kid, I liked broccoli, I always have, and my mom used to make this broccoli casserole with cream of mushroom soup. Well, I don't use cream soups. I don't use any canned soups to cook. So I came up with this recipe. I tried it a week ago or so, and it turned out really well. So I'm like, okay, let me figure out how to put this all together, put it on paper, and do it as a video for y'all. So the first thing about it is, I don't want to call this broccoli casserole because it's a little more elegant. This is a broccoli side dish. And what we're going to start with is, this is a substitute I have here for any cream soup. It's really basic. All I did was I took 2 tablespoons of butter, melted it, whisked in 3 tablespoons of flour. Then I slowly added half a cup of chicken stock, you know, no salt added, low sodium, whatever you want to use. And then half a cup of half and half. So basically this is the consistency of what a cream soup would be after it's cool, because I want to let this cool, because when I make the rest of it, it would ruin it. So basically the first thing I want to do is, like I said, this is I did it this morning, it's nice and cool. So now I want to make the cream part of the broccoli casserole side dish, I'm sorry. So what I want to do, as I showed you before, I had made my Italian seasoning. This is my favorite. It played right before this, so I had it all hooked to it. I just want a teaspoon. I just want to get this started in here because I want to let it start to get all happy in there. And then I need a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. You can put as much or as little as you want. That's a tablespoon. And I just want to kind of mix this together. This is also a good way to make sure that it is cool enough, because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put eggs in. I don't want to poach my eggs, and I'm going to put some mayonnaise in, and you don't want to make the mayonnaise funny. So I want to crack 2 eggs. Always crack them on a flat surface so that you don't get pieces of shell in it. Mix this together. Get those eggs beaten. Make it all happy. Get this all mixed up together. Then I got, this is half a cup, a little bit more than half a cup of mayonnaise. The recipe I figured out called for 3/4, and that's what I did last time. Probably don't need quite that much. But it was more than a half. It does have to be more than a half. And we're going to mix that together. Nice. Beautiful. Get my whisk out of here. So now I've got about a cup of chopped yellow onion, ounces of this really great grated cheese. This just has different types of cheese in it, whatever you like, you know, as long as you got some cheddar in there, you want some flavor. Don't make it too boring. And I just want to stir this first. And I have a bag of baby broccoli florets to put in here. And I don't want to beat them all up, so I want to kind of gently. That's why I mixed everything else first. Just kind of flip it around here. Otherwise you'd end up with some consistency of baby food. And a few more tosses. And when I dump it in, it's going to help mix it. I just want to get all those broccoli coated. That's about it. So, typical, got a nice corningware dish that I buttered. It's been in the fridge, it's still cold. I just previously taken it out. And now what I want to do is I'm going to ladle my mixture in here. So it's really great to find recipes or remember things you did as a kid, and just know that it's so easy to kind of figure out a way to make it healthier. Or maybe, you know, my grandmother used to make this frozen salad thing, and half the ingredients I can't even find in the store anymore. So I've been kind of playing with how I could change that. And sometimes just ingredients themselves change over time. So, you know, it changes the recipe. So, you know, and if you ever have a question about that, you know, certainly ask me. I'll be more than happy to give you some advice or help you rewrite a recipe so you can make this tradition. You know, and you should be starting your own traditions. Get your family in the kitchen, teach them how to cook, because you know what? It's too expensive to go out to eat, and we all need to have some kind of skill in cooking. Some of the stuff I make is really basic and easy, some of it's a little hard. Anyway, so I got this all together. I've got a 350-degree oven, and before I throw it in there, I just want to put a little bit of breadcrumb on top. You can use any kind of breadcrumb, flavored, non-flavored, I don't care, panko. This was open, so I'm using this. It really doesn't matter, and I'm really literally just a little bit on top, just to give a little coolness, a little wow effect when you take it out of the oven. All right, that's it. I'm going to put this in the oven. It's going to take about half an hour. You're going to know because you want it all bubbly. The cheese is all going to be melted. It's going to be a little colorful on top. So let me get this in the oven, and I'll see you back in about half an hour. All right, it's been a half hour. My broccoli side dish is looking perfect. Smells great. Just want to dig into it to make sure. So by not using cream soup, it changes the texture completely. The cheese is nice. Summer's hot. Got cheese everywhere. It totally changes it. It's like it's not like soup. It's definitely more of a side dish. Hoping not to burn my mouth, but I'm thinking that this is something really, really great. That just want to put some of this together. Ooh, it's hot. So I think I figured out what I really like. It almost makes it like a more like a souffle. Flavor's really good. You can taste the broccoli. It's not overwhelmed. I didn't put a whole lot of really aggressive flavoring in there because I like broccoli. So, and obviously you can use fresh broccoli. I probably would myself. You know, you just get some nice fresh broccoli and just cut all the tops off, the flowers off, and it'll cook in here long enough that it'll cook that broccoli. I do like it to have a little texture. I don't want it to taste like mush or to be the consistency of mush. But yeah, I think that's really the key. And like I said, that substitute for cream soup is really great. I was thinking about it when it was in the oven. I've seen recipes that call for like condensed cheddar cheese soup. Boom. Make sure there's cheese in the dish. You could literally make it for anything. And it's a whole different evolution of cooking. You know, most of our moms were good cooks. They just didn't have available what we have today. So, you know, we want to see if we can improve. And like I said, this is a great way to you know, start traditions in your own family. This would be a great side dish at Thanksgiving. You know, a big gathering. You could double this and put it in a bigger pan. It would be fine. And I think the flavor would definitely not overwhelm your turkey or your ham, but definitely be a great complement to any dish. So please, I want you to try it, enjoy it, comment, let me know, and of course subscribe. Have a great day.